We are live actually. We are live. We are live.
Welcome to Bulls, Bear and Banter. Today we have Puneet Javeri instead of Niraj sir. Niraj sir ने गुटली मारी है because he is slightly unwell.
No, he's
But
उनका
hopefully
गला थोड़ा गले में खराश है.
yes. He's been drinking a lot.
Hot water.
So yes. So
So let's start with Dixon.
Yeah. Good quarter, yeah. I feel the reaction was
ठंडा.
thanda, but like 2%, I'll take it in this market though.
अरे यार 100 टाइम पे ट्रेड हो रहा है. कितने टाइम पे ट्रेड हो रहा है?
अरे but forward देखो ना आप.
Forward कितना है? 70 times.
नहीं सर.
Forward
Forward
भी
मतलब
होगा.
कौन सा 2 साल आगे देखो ना.
अरे कितना? वो 20 टाइम्स तक लेके आएगा आपको. जब तक सजीत सर ने सस्ता नहीं बोला तब तक फॉरवर्ड नहीं करो.
2030 में कितना बता?
नहीं 2030 में तो 10x होगा. I think 10 times price. But realistically 2 years FY27 PE it's around 42 43 times. So doubling your revenue in 2 years. What else?
Every 2 years.
FY25.
But he told you, in I think in the interview that he's not going to double every year.
Yeah, but
He
today
would like to,
but FY25 level still will double. FY25 was 17,000 crores.
FY25 to 27 it will double. हाँ, वो तो आसानी से हो जाएगा.
वो for him, yeah.
आसानी से होएगा. More than double होगा. But फिर उसके बाद base will catch up या अपन ये तभी कितना करेगा?
He's not even started the component play ना. See, my point is he's done an acquisition now of 2,000 crores of revenue. तो उधर से आ जाएगा वो. Q-Tech India. Q-Tech it's 51%. But the thing is, and there were a couple of things which he said which was very interesting to me. Like it makes camera modules. Every one phone has 3.2 camera modules.
0.2 कौन सा?
3.2
because होता है 2 होता है.
सर अभी सर मेरा 3.2
3.2 क्या?
सर आप पता आप गलत चीज ही पकड़ता हूँ मेरे साइड से. पर आप सुनो तो सही. This number
मेरे में 3 है और 0.2 किधर मुझे समझ नहीं आ रहा.
दिख नहीं रहा ना वो अभी मैं
वो फ्लैश में.
So 3.2 and the market of India is 470 million units. So 470 million units. Dixon will alone consume 180 million units in 2 years. So it's like already, and currently the company does 40 million units. So even if he scales to his own consumption, that acquisition is only becoming so good for him. And it's a good 7.5% margin business. He's currently at 3.8. So I feel like the growth, and this is just one aspect. Okay. He has 4 other joint ventures within components.
Give me I get what you're saying. 7.5% margin because Q-Tech is selling it separately now. Yeah. Suddenly it will be selling it. It becomes a subsidiary of the company. So, and you come in here because you're a CA. Okay? So when he becomes a subsidiary of the company, then arm's length pricing फिर भी होगा. Internal consumption हो जाएगा ना खत्म.
Internal consumption होगा, but sir, the margin of the finished product will go up because what will happen is you'll buy at, even if you don't buy at arm's length, internal product हो भी गया. If you buy at a discount, eventually your selling price is the same. So therefore your margin will go up. That is understandable. So regardless whether you treat it as arm's length or non-arm's length, likely they will treat it as arm's length. According to me, they ought to, unless they are able to find a loophole.
My point is that it's a JV which is controlled by, so basically you have control of that company. Right?
Correct.
In that sense.
Correct.
No, but this is an acquisition.
Why would a 49% shareholder allow you to?
आगे
जाके क्यों acquire कर लेगा? I'm pretty sure he'll increase his stake going forward.
But for the moment तो 49% outside held है. 7.5% margin करेगा ही ना. वो 49% shareholder क्या बोलेगा? Boss तू margin dilution I'm okay with. I don't think that they will agree to that.
Yeah.
They will not agree to that.
But the 49%
unless there is an arrangement or something.
The 49% shareholder has become a 49% because of issues, right? State issues.
Yeah. So
I feel it's collaboration rather than any issue specific. Because he's going to increase his component play. He's already said that.
No, but secondary, no, sir. My point being that ultimate margin will still be the same.
My point is that ultimately the margin when it comes in and when he goes and pitches for other companies, other companies will start squeezing them, saying that now you have additional margin, you pass on that to me.
Yeah.
Earlier, what he used to do is that, okay, I'm going to make this, I'm going to buy from Q-Tech or some other company, and I'm going to pass on the cost to you.
Yeah.
Now it is part of yours.
Yeah.
So that gain in margin, he will. The company which is giving a contract manufacturing will say that now you have to pass on something.
But has he said anything about that? Has he said that basically, is it a cost plus model, Puneet, or is it a what's the model that he follows?
So-
is it a selling price model? Is it a cost plus model?
So right now he gives some benefit. Like for example, if he wants a contract from Samsung increasing, now there are other EMS companies also. So he's passing on the PLI benefit to Samsung. The issue was that FY26 my PLI will end. Next year he won't have PLI, so he'll still have to pass on. Why will Samsung come to you? So he's gone into backward integration. He's gone into these guys.
So the pass on will happen, right?
So pass on, but he's saying ki I'm right now at 3.8%. I will go to 5.5 because I'm going in. So basically, in terms of bills of material, right now he's manufacturing 17% of the phone. He'll go to 35, and with that, when the operating leverage hits, he'll be able to get that. He'll be able to pass on to the consumer, like Samsung, for example, and still be able to do 5.5%
so
margin.
there is no doubt margins will go up, but
his
not
contract is
but-
very
but-
different,
but-
basically.
but to
किसी
say
के
that-
साथ cost plus है, किसी के पास he'll do selling price, but
to say-
largely that. And the other big part which is not in the numbers right now is exports. Right now he does only for Motorola, largely for exports. Exports, he's said that last year it did 1,300 crores of revenue. This year it'll do 7,000 crores and is scalable to 12,000 crores in the medium term. So maybe I'll give him 3 years for that. उसके पहले ही हो जाएगा. But export margins will be higher than the domestic margins because the average selling price is also higher. So those things, plus he also, and the one concern which was there, which for Motorola, was that he's given it to other EMS companies like Carvin, some volumes. So what Dixon has done now, he's starting to do joint ventures. He's doing a joint venture with Vivo. And then Vivo will be bound to put 60-70% of the India volume, which is roughly about 2.8 crore units, in the JV. So he's securing his EMS business. Then he gives backward integration. So he's able to maintain margin, and I think that's what the street is also putting that high valuation to.
But
No, it makes sense. If he
No, like, I
and
get-
sorry,
then
is
it
there a
makes sense.
track record of him following the guidance that he gives?
Yeah,
See,
yeah.
I've been looking at it maybe 2 years, but you
Yeah,
have
yeah.
a better
So
visibility.
I think it has been only last year, FY25 was one because of capacity constraints, because he had the orders but it was not able to. So when you see FY24 to 25 revenue, it was hardly any growth. But then suddenly that growth is coming in FY26 because he was doing so much. So mobile revenue in quarter 1 has gone up 125%. That's 11,600 crores of revenue.
So margin expansion is for sure.
For
top
sure.
Line, top line for sure.
Top line for sure.
Now, the only question which I have is the bottom line, because he talks about 100 से 50 हो जाएगा 2 साल के बाद. 20 50 बोला 20 बोला.
मैं price to earnings ना. I said 40 45.
40 45. 45 होगा उसमें.
You have to go out.
हाँ, have to go.
तो आपका बुलाया है.
अच्छा, मेरे को बुलाया है.
मुझे लगा मेरा बुलाया है, मैं निकाल के भागने वाला है.
ठीक है, तो दोनों का क्या? नहीं,
सबका कैसे हो गया?
Puneet needs to come out.
Okay, I'll go and I'll come back for Infosys.
Okay,
हाँ.
Yes,
ठीक है,
thank you.
वो
and,
कर
then,
लेते हैं.
and you come back for Infosys.
अच्छा, आपका नहीं आया था,
नहीं,
उसका आया था. Oh, okay, sorry.
So I think that's what he's saying. In next 2 years, this is what is going to happen. But let's talk about Paytm.
हाँ, this was the interesting one.
We were expecting a fanfare like Eternal, but it never happened.
नहीं यार, stock. See, frankly, I wasn't, and it's on record yesterday on BBB. So I wasn't expecting any fanfare. My sense was that the stock had already run up. This was well disclosed.
You have to go for a link. I have to go for a link. Okay. हाँ, तो मैं ये खत्म करके चलता हूँ. हाँ.
Yes. So there was already some amount of optimism built in with regard to Q1 numbers. So and it translated, right? It's done fairly well for itself, the Paytm story, at least for Q1. EBITDA came in at 3.7%. Expectation was 0.9%. 18 crore of EBITDA came in at 71 crore. That
the key
was
question
not
which I
expected.
think investors want to know is this profit sustainable?
So question number 1, sustainability for sure. I don't see a
Because
doubt with regard to sustainability.
what we have seen is that a flat top line for them, almost flat. I think no growth there, but there is an efficiency with respect to cost which is coming in.
Yes.
Lower marketing, lower
Yes.
ESOPs.
Yes.
All those things are come in.
Yes.
And lower loan guarantee,
Yes.
loss guarantee loans,
Yes.
basically,
Yes.
which is there. Now these three things have helped them to get a 120-130 crore profit in Q1.
150 crore bump up over Q4 FY25 EBITDA.
Yeah. So now question is that ESOP में क्या होगा और marketing expenses, can it come back? Will it come
So
back?
ESOP, a large part of the expenses have been front-ended in Q4. They used it as an exceptional item. 520 crore book out kar diya or close kar diya ESOP. Right? So that was only an accounting entry. It wasn't even a tax and it wasn't even a cash flow entry. You have been called
Yes.
with
Yes.
incredible urgency.
Urgency. I'll be
Over
short.
there is someone dancing over there.
Okay. So I'll just come in after this. But Mahima will take us through
Colgate.
Colgate. Why people
And
stop
Tata
brushing
Consumer.
their teeth?
Twice a day.
Twice a day.
I think Colgate.
So, but that may benefit you.
What?
Your wife is a dentist, right?
Well, okay, yeah, I'll give you that. It's a good joke. But I think
That's a big thing, by the way, coming from Mahima. If you all don't know the
for
equation,
Hersh
we shared.
specifically.
Anyway, yes.
Yeah, but Colgate, I think last quarter the way brokerages had penciled in that it was a great Q4 for Colgate for sure, and then the expectation was that that will translate to Q1 as well, and that has not happened. So the street was not happy because of that. All four metrics were below estimates. First thing, that was the problem. And when the management commentary also came, they said that there is urban demand which is weak, which is not letting them grow in terms of volumes. Plus, there were price hikes that were taken this quarter, and that is one of the reasons as to why the volumes is not gone up. So it's like a vicious circle. They're taking price hikes. Because of that, demand is coming down and volumes are not going up. So that is a key concern. But the commentary was that they'll see revival from second half of FY26. So Q2 expectations are also sort of muted. The second one was the margins have remained under pressure, and this is because of inflation. That's a story with every FMCG company, and Colgate is, it's not spared from that reason per se. So that has happened overall with regards to Colgate, and all the brokerages that had turned positive in Q4 and kind of hike target price or even improve their ratings are now going ahead and maintaining the ratings. At least if it's a hold from HSBC. Jeffries has maintained a buy, but they're cutting their target prices and cutting the EPS estimates as well because Q1 was disappointing. And that's why the stock is under pressure today as well. So that's with regards to Colgate. Tata Consumer coming with its earnings today, and that's the major FMCG staple company that will come out with its earnings. The expectation are that revenue and PAT will see a good double-digit growth, but margins will be under pressure. I mean, almost at 200 basis points is what the estimates are suggesting because of tea inflation. Which will impact the margins overall for Tata Consumer. But Tata Consumer, I think the interesting thing also will be how these new products are picking up.
Yes.
Is an interesting thing to watch out for. The rate,
are they getting scale? Because those may actually do away with the risk of tea prices.
Correct.
Especially things like Chings, etc.
Correct. Organic India, Chings.
So stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But just overall on FMCG, and this is something which I was speaking with a fund manager, and he was telling me that in general, FMCG doesn't have the right to win because on most of the products, let's say of an HUL, right, the largest FMCG company on the Nifty, in terms of an HUL, at least 60 to 70% of the top line is now at near 100% penetration in the country.
Correct.
Colgate, are you going to convince people to brush twice a day or thrice a day?
Yeah.
It's not going to happen. Is population going to go up substantially?
Correct.
Maybe not. Are you going to eat into someone else's market share?
Correct.
Maybe not.
Correct.
If you use a Colgate, I at least as a consumer, I wouldn't move away from the toothpaste I used.
Agreed.
So it's just a matter of preference, and therefore, where do they get their growth from? Is really the question.
So for Colgate, and this is just my analysis that I've seen. In the past 3 odd years, this is what I've observed, and this has happened with everybody that I am seeing. One time brushing is a must, right? But the second time brushing is being replaced by a lot of these mouthwashes. Second, liquid flossers. Liquid flossers sale. I was just looking at. I was just planning to buy a liquid flosser, and this Oracura and all of the. It's a liquid. So generally, when you go to a dentist, they generally floss, right, using those pressure of water.
Yes,
correct.
yes.
And these are now available in market. It's just like a big liquid flosser which you can just charge it, use the button. You
What
can
are
use
you
it at home.
saying?
Yeah.
I should leave that in office then.
Yeah.
I've been wondering how to clean my teeth in office.
Yeah. So I think the night brushing is being replaced by these flossers, because when I was going ahead and buying that Oracura liquid flosser, there were over 250,000 reviews on that. I mean, reviews is just what 10%, 5% of whosoever is
Mahima,
buying.
that's for this crowd sitting here, yaar. And it's not for Aam Janta.
No,
I
but
don't
it's
know.
not very expensive. I
No?
mean, you can get a normal liquid flosser, you get around 700, 800 rupees mein. A premium one you go for will be around 2,000, 3,000 rupees. But it is available in that range as well.
But yaar, 700, 800
that is not
is
hygiene.
not cheap.
Hygiene.
It's not sasta, yaar.
But
It's
a
not
high
sasta.
pressure thing, na?
It's a high pressure thing. It's just the way the dentists use. They have it plugged in separately, but you can use this at home also. And same with the mouthwash also. Mouthwash now, what has happened is they've reduced the size also of the mouthwash, so it's become cheaper.
Miniature.
Correct. So I think that is one trend that I have seen at
Earlier the
least.
floss used to be the other one, right?
That is also thread. That is also available.
That's very cumbersome.
Correct.
Actually.
But even innovation is happening in that also, because they're like toothpicks, and toothpicks have those it's called Unifloss, and they have those threads. So even that can be used twice or thrice. So it's good. I mean,
influences से बात करने से कुछ सीखने को मिलता है. बहुत कुछ सीखने को मिलता
है.
I feel like I come from the Stone Age. I didn't know that such products are available.
This is a similar kind of thing which we saw for soaps, right?
Correct.
We had liquid soaps coming in and disrupting the entire thing. Now you're seeing this. But you're saying Colgate is not able to innovate and get into that market?
I have not seen any liquid flosser or floss.
No, they are not able to innovate. वो तो यार evident है sir. वो product innovation तो नहीं है. That is evident because say supposing you've been using a toothpaste since you were 5 years old. Very rare that you will switch from that.
हाँ, Colgate से close-up नहीं जाऊँगा.
Correct.
Exactly.
And close-up से Colgate नहीं जाऊँगा.
And so that too. And second, I have noticed this in my wife also. My wife uses a different paste. I use a different paste.
Correct.
We have two pastes in the house. We don't use the same paste. So, I mean, and neither of us are able to switch for whatever reason.
Yeah.
So, what I kind of caught on to is that this is a hyper personalization which is there. So, but where is the growth there? मेरे तो दांत तो 32 के 32 ही है, वो तो ग्रो नहीं हो रहा है, तो पेस्ट क्यों ज्यादा यूज होगा?
मेरे अभी 3 एक्स्ट्रा है, विजडम टू.
ये समझ में नहीं आता है. So where will they grow from? If they have so maybe, but that's very small, right? It's like
it will be removed.
1% more teeth than what a normal.
Oh God.
No,
okay.
but net, that was the point, that if you have such high penetration levels already in so many products, it's not like an ice cream that you will eat 2 ice creams a day instead of 1. So where does that growth come from? Where are you expecting or anticipating that growth to come from?
Discussion with my wife on these changing trends.
You should, yeah, because they are the ones selling Oracura. I mean, my dentist sold it to me, and that's how I know.
Colgate पे क्या हो रहा है? Tomorrow Sajeet sir special on Colgate on what is happening in the
other things.
Oracura.
Actually,
liquid flosser.
This is a very good
story to do.
Real material.
Yes.
Simple as that. But what's happening in Tata Consumer?
Tata Consumer वही बोला हमने
सब बोला कर दिया discuss, and frankly we are short on time also.
Yeah, so we'll take
so
questions.
We'll have to go out and discuss this separately over lunch. But
is there anything on urban consumption that Colgate speak on? No, nothing ना. कुछ नहीं.
It's still under pressure is what they're saying. No recovery seen.
चलो, कल्याण is asking dentist की बातें चल रही हैं, तो प्रेवेस डेंट का भी प्रोडक्ट ठीक कर लीजिए. It is approaching market cap of 750 crores. ठीक है, देखेंगे सर. आपके KYC के लिए वो टारगेट कर रहा है कि वो मार्केट कैप हिट करे ताकि आप KYC ले सकें.
Interesting.
My twice a day brush is just gimmick sold by toothpaste companies.
ये इसीलिए नहीं बढ़ रहा है कोलगेट सर, आप समझ रहे हो.
What's
Sir,
a call on Kajaria Ceramics been holding since? I don't have a call on Kajaria,
even
but
I'm not
it's
sure.
more to do with
We generally
construction.
don't have calls,
Calls.
but
But it's the trend is that construction has been a little slow, right?
Yes.
And that's
Been.
what. So it's linked to the construction.
So,
Allied
but do
sector.
you think that cement this quarter has picked up? So now these ancillaries will pick up from next few quarters because this is after once construction is done. So your paints, your ceramics, etc. Do you
See,
think so?
my view on the pre-sale numbers is very
No,
clear
not
with everyone.
pre-sale.
No, I'm just trying to tell you how it. If the pre-sale numbers are getting converted into execution,
Correct.
and execution numbers get reflected through sales of cement, then in the next uh, 4 to 6 quarters, you're going to see ceramics and others coming. Because what happens is that at least of 24 months is the period. 24 तो बहुत ही aggressive हो गया. मतलब you're talking of 36 to 40 months before a structure comes up, and then you do the internals which comes in. So if the cycle of these allied construction materials have to go, and if so the cycle will be around after 30 36 months. That's when it starts playing it out, and all depends upon pre-sales are getting executed, because everyone is booking pre-sales but execution nahi ho raha, and if it's going to be slow, then it's yours growth is going to be slow. So that's something which is there. So last 2 years, what we've seen are huge pre-sales happening last 2 years. Now what I expect is by the end of this quarter you should see pickup happening in allied construction and materials, whether it's pipes, whether it's ceramics, whether it's anything,
Paints.
kitchenware, paints, everything. That is the thing which is important to see. तो वो जो साइकिल मतलब हम 2 साल से तो बात ही कर रहे हैं प्री सेल्स की बात, राइट? 3 साल में तो आपने उस समय बेचा 2 साल पहले, तो अभी तो आपका बिल्डिंग खड़ा हो जाना चाहिए.
correct.
अगर खड़ा नहीं हुआ तो मतलब आपको ये बिकेगा कहाँ?
But sir, they are also binded by RERA Act, ना? तो आज नहीं तो कल होने वाला तो है.
नहीं, there is no certainty होने वाला है. The point is कब होगा? That is the thing which is there. So a builder is normally saying that I will take 5 years to give you the flat.
Correct.
Right? Now the 5 can be extended to 6. He can bring in.
Is that allowed under RERA?
What
If
will you
I'm
do?
not
Tell
wrong.
me, if you have a
Sir,
financial
then you have to
stress-
start paying
You have to
interest,
start paying
no?
interest.
True,
on.
but the fourth year or the fifth year thing which comes into play, your 5th to 6th comes into play only when there's a stress, na? Otherwise, it should be a clean thing.
But sir, see, okay, frankly, the builder community at this point, especially only in the listed space, whatever we can see in terms of financials, the debt ratios don't seem to be too bad. Yes, there may be one or two realty players where the debt is 1:1, right? But outside of that, largely the net debt to equity is not so high, at least
You're
at
talking
the
on a
moment.
consolidated level or project level?
Consolidated level, not project level. Project level visibility, frankly, I don't
No one
have.
has.
If
No
I
one has.
had, yeah. So then, if I had,
That's
then
a
I would
valid
have said
point.
it. But I don't have that visibility. But
I don't think they disclose
net,
that. Do
They
they?
don't disclose, but consolidated में
नहीं, if you
Consolidated
dig in
में
मिल
पता
जाएगा,
चलेगा.
dig in मिल जाएगा, financial annual report में जाओगे,
शायद मिल
and
जाएगा,
then
maybe,
each
yeah, project
subsidiary,
wise. You have to
each
check.
subsidiary you'll have to sit and check. पर वो
Correct.
मैंने किया नहीं है वो exercise. My point being that मुझे नहीं लगता कि उतना कुछ बुरा है हाल.
No, I'm not
Debt to
talking about
equity.
Bora. I'm not talking. Listen, I'm not talking about stress coming to the developer because he's taking more leverage. I'm talking from the point of view of inventory which is going to come into business. Now let's look at, for example, of Mumbai, Andheri suburbs or western suburbs. देखो. Imagine the kind of redevelopment which is happening in that area, right?
काफी है.
Means काफी मतलब बहुत ज़्यादा है. मतलब your Lokanwala, half of Lokanwala is getting redeveloped.
And we are paying for that, trust me.
हाँ.
People living on rent.
Yeah, because the rental
Yeah.
yields have gone up, right? Means
Yeah.
now 2 years back, a 2 BHK which was going at 50-55 is now going at 80 or 90.
Unfurnished.
90K. Unfurnished, I'm talking about, not even furnished.
No, that's a fact.
So, yeah. So the point is that if the inventory is also come in, because every development have at least 30% of new inventory getting added,
Correct.
because the rest 70 would be given to the existing members.
That
So-
is also true.
right? So that inventory has to be picked up, right? If that doesn't get picked up, where is the money going to come? There will be a stress which will come in, right? Inventory led.
Interesting.
the stress. So I'm not saying that you'll not be able to meet 5 years. I'm saying that the question was that do you see allied construction materials going up? The answer was that 2 years ago we started this process of pre-sales. So in the third or fourth year is when you should see those things getting picked up, or construction developers asking for those materials coming in. And if it doesn't come in, that means that there's an issue.
I don't recall any conversation where someone has materially told me that it's picked up.
It's picked up. So the question is that then what happened to those pre-sales numbers of last 2 to 3 years? And I was questioning them.
Last 2 years, sir.
Last
3
2
years
years.
maybe not.
2 years. 22 के बाद.
22 के बाद.
हाँ, 22 के बाद. That's when the pre-sales का जो फैक्ट चला है ना कि इतने प्री-सेल हर क्वार्टर में है. तो अगर वो पिक नहीं हो रहा है तो फिर भाई
देखना पड़ेगा. एक्चुअली कॉल करके बात करना चाहिए किसी के साथ इस पे.
So imagine if
खजारिया किसी के साथ.
If on a annual basis we are booking pre-sales of nearly 2 lakh crore or something, that kind of figures which I was seeing in one of the real estate consultants report, then 2 lakh crore का pre-sales है तो भाई उसका at least 10% or 15% तो इसमें जाना चाहिए ना.
Fair point.
Simple as that.
करते हैं इस पे बात करते हैं.
So that was my
take on Infosys results.
What are you expecting?
So I think Puneet was talking about it. He had to step out for a leave, but top line is expected to grow by 2%, margin compression by 30 to 50 bips. Profit is expected to come down. There is an expectation that the guidance may be up on the lower level. 0 to 3% है और लोग बोल रहे हैं 1 to 4% हो जाएगा, but very difficult because we have seen 5 companies come and tell us that yes, order booking is happening, but the growth will happen in the second half. Now, can Infosys buck this trend? I don't know, because we've seen Accenture also talk the same language, which is a global company, and in top 5 other companies which are large cap companies having said the same thing. So it's going to be a very interesting to see what is the kind of growth they are looking at. They pegged at 0 to 3%. Are they going to make it 1 to 3, or are they going to make it 1 to 4? 1 to 4 would be a very good one for that. But imagine in Q4 we saw top line compression of 3.5%, and उसके ऊपर हम we are talking about around 2% growth. So it's a low base with 2% growth is what we're looking at in Q1. So let's look at for the commentary and see how it is. Infosys normally is very conservative in its guidance, and because it gives us annual guidance. So but going by whatever commentary we have, analyst reports we have seen, they all are talking about second half recovery which is coming in. So let's hope.
The other one is MFI, and there's a question on MFI and CV, the stress. At least commentary seems to suggest that Q2 will get better, and at Q3 onwards things will start to really improve. So you'll see significant recovery only in H2 and not before that. But we've been hearing about this 2-quarter push since a while, but now at least the commentary seems to suggest that we're not too far away, and there is an improvement on the anvil. So Q2 seems to be that quarter where you'll start to see an improvement, or where they've already started to see an improvement, and Q3 is when the full impact of that will be visible on numbers. So maybe something to keep in mind.
Hemant has a question on MFI and CV unsecured lending cycles.
वही बोला मेरे अभी.
But CV is going to be a pain point, right? In Q1, I think two banks have come and spoken about.
Yeah, so CV was a pain point. M&M Finance's numbers were still okay in comparison. It wasn't as bad as what a lot of the street had.
No negative surprises.
हाँ, कुछ बड़ा negative नहीं था, but still it's a muted set. Hopefully it gets better going forward. But you want to start to look at valuations and start to look at this space, because my sense is that in a quarter or two you will start to see a recovery here. Agri-based, also growth-based, MFI, etc. Now growth will start to come back. Yes.
So they're coming off the low base.
In fact, M&M Finance 2 साल से काफी tough चल रहा है उसका.
Coforge Q1 preview before leaving.
I don't have the.
I think this PC Jewelers is an interesting question, because I found it very interesting क्योंकि turnaround है, पूरा business turnaround है. PC Jewelers. it's been
They're
a
raising some
momentum.
funds, no?
They've raised 500 crores
Ah.
and that will be used for repayment of their debt. They were in huge debt and there was a question on companies existence itself. But last year banks ke saath they negotiated. It was a consortium loan. They negotiated, paid half of their debt last year. This year first quarter they've paid almost 8% of the remaining debt, and they've said that by FY26 year end they'll become debt free. First quarter updates were also very strong. Working capital तो फिर भी चाहिए था. This is their long term debt जो उनके पास था. And first quarter business update में भी it was the only company which said that there, of course low base था, but revenue growth of almost 80%. So that was very interesting. And not just, I mean, this is with regards to fundamentals, but I've been seeing the stock performance also. It's been one of those momentum trades for sure. But so वो एक चीज ध्यान में रखनी पड़ेगी कि because all of this has been happening, turnaround, the stock has seen a significant amount of momentum so far.
Okay, just Puneet.
Coforge.
Revenue is expected to grow 9.3% quarter on quarter. EBIT margins are expected. EBIT is expected to grow around 25%, with margins going to be higher in Q1 versus Q4, and net profit is expected to grow by 26%. So they have a good expectation going into the earnings. Overall revenue growth in CC terms is expected to be between 6.8 to 7.6%. And this is the second tier of IT companies which are doing Coforge, Persistent. These are companies which are growing at that high growth levels, which we spoke about earlier as well. I think our expectation 5% QOQ CC growth over is much as per street expectation, and margins expansion is what they're talking about. They've got HSBC deal win, which happened, which is roughly around $500 million, and an order intake in Q4 was $2.1 billion. So let's see, look at the TCVs or total contract value they got, top line CC volume, CC volume growth, and EBIT margin. These three things will determine how it is. It looks like that they will be performing better than the top 6 companies.
Interesting.
Excellent.
Okay.
Sorry guys, so frankly, little bit out of time.
Yeah, we're running out of time now. So yes, so let's catch up tomorrow. We have Infosys to discuss. We have Dr. Reddy's to discuss, and there's one more
Tata
Consumer to discuss.
Sorry, so producers have requested Paytm versus Zomato after Q1 quick analysis. ये कर लेते हैं because ये ripe story है एकदम. So Paytm, okay, and maybe you can take a cue from this and maybe do the math. I've just done rough math, okay. So Paytm is expected to do around 8,800 crore of top line in FY26. They've done around 3.7% in margins. The margins are expected to go up by exit FY26. Now, broadly, they've not given us a number. I'm taking a ballpark number of 5 to 6% on the margin number, right? And if that were to happen at 8,800 crore, that will be around 400 to 500 crore in EBITDA, in absolute EBITDA, which Paytm clocks. That will largely get knocked off by the depreciation as well as interest costs which come through, which Paytm has to pay, plus certain ESOP expenses as well. So you will have EBITDA zero, according to me, adjusted for other income. Mind you, Paytm has done 250 crore of other income in this quarter, will likely continue doing that. So 1,000 crore will come from only the other income, according to the way I'm looking at things. So you'll land up with around a 700 crore profit after tax at the end of this year on a 70,000 crore market cap business. So therefore trading at 100 times earnings. But all of that largely will be from other income, which is the interest income that they earn on the 12,800 crore of cash balances that they have. I hope I'm clear enough with the way I've explained it.
Same also eternal as well. I think the profitability is being driven by the cash they have on the balance sheet.
Correct, 18,000 odd crores.
यहाँ पर 12,500 करोड़ है, इधर 18,000.
But sir, एक फर्क है. They've guided for 15 to 20% EBITDA margin
for Paytm
in the medium term. They've not given a timeline for it, but they've said in the medium term. How will that happen? Medium term मतलब
2 से 3 साल.
My sense is conservative 5, less conservative 3. ठीक है? That is my sense.
I thought I was more conservative. 2 to 3 के बोल रहा था.
हाँ तो सर आप ultra conservative. आप अल्ट्रा अग्रेसिव हो ऑन पेटीएम कि 2 से 3 साल में खत्म करो ये.
But though that's
होने नहीं
good
वाला है.
because Eternal has come out and said कि margins हमारा focus है ही नहीं.
Correct.
हमारा focus है कि
Correct.
market leadership maintain
Market-
करना है और
exactly.
market share gain करना है.
So
और ये क्यों हो रहा है वो भी मैं बता दूं. पेटीएम के पास बहुत लिमिटेड कंपटीशन है.
correct.
Whereas Zomato is competing actively with Zepto, Swiggy, and maybe
Amazon,
and
Nykaa,
Amazon.
Myntra, everybody is
Arey,
doing quick
you
deliveries
forgot
now.
Reliance.
Reliance, JioMart,
Reliance this
Yes.
time
Big
said
Basket,
that
Tatas.
they started putting in dark stores.
Dark
Reliance
stores, yes.
quietly they've been putting in dark stores,
Yes.
and Reliance is sitting on higher profitability and a higher cash,
Yes.
which is there.
So, given all of this, if they do a 15 to 18% margin, maybe in 3 years.
Question to two people who understand these two companies very clearly. What is the kind of?
I will not argue against that. I have argument, but I won't argue.
What is the kind of cash from operations Eternal is going to get, and what is the kind of cash from operation Paytm is going to get?
आपको शुरू करना है मैं करूं?
I mean, it's difficult to predict that because considering
I'm happy if
2000
these
dark
two companies
stores.
are not making profit, but they're generating cash from operations.
Yeah, okay. So because they are doing 2000 dark stores by this year and now they've gone ahead and said कि beyond that 2000 dark store 3000 करेंगे,
in the medium
तो
term.
cash flow from operations मुश्किल तो होगा, for sure मुश्किल होगा. I'm not denying that fact. And margins will be under pressure because competition भी है. So for Zomato, that I don't think that's a metrics we should look at, in my opinion.
Q1 FY27. Cash from operations.
Positive.
I think Zomato will take more than that.
Zomato will take at least 2 years.
At least 2 years, for
And
sure.
Zomato is 4 times the size of Paytm. 4 times.
4
Yeah.
times the size plus, I mean,
But you know,
heavy
model is
CapEx.
different, everything. But
model is different.
I
but we
appreciate
also,
all that,
But,
but-
also give that doubt or benefit of doubt to Paytm because they have changed the entire business model.
Yes, they have.
From the time they listed to
Correct.
now
They have.
Right. So you give at least a year to 3 years time frame for any company to build on that. But I'm still. That's what I'm saying.
I believe this, sir, that if we criticize a company for not performing when the down cycle is on, we have the innate responsibility to doubly credit them when they come back. And they have come back, and that's what I'm trying to do.
That's what I'm saying, that give Paytm a year or two, and they will, if they. But the only challenge which I see as of now is that they have to move out from. They have to expand their business scope. Currently, it's only syndication of loans and other stuff, right? There is no other income, other business
That is true.
revenue stream which is coming in.
That is true.
So
No
that is
material
the
revenue stream. That is true.
Despite the fact that it's the only fintech company which is there and there's lesser competition, imagine for a fact that if tomorrow a Geo Finance starts that, what will happen? Geo has the financial muscle and the tech muscle to
Yes,
do
they
it.
do.
Right?
They do.
So if I don't know whether Geo
Correct.
will do it, but if there is cash on the table and it's available on the table,
they should utilize.
They will,
just like the way Zomato has done. They were
Yeah.
quite district. Gone ahead and I mean, they don't need to do that for sure now.
Yeah.
They need to work on the
I'm just
execution
saying
part.
that this mode which is coming in, I'm the only fintech company which is there, so I don't have less competition. It's only very limited period of time.
Fair point.
So you have to put that. And in
Fair
this
point.
case,
Interesting.
there are invisible large players now coming and putting in this thing, and that is going to have a thing. Because what we saw, quick commerce last quarter it was 25% discount. Now it's going up 28% discount. All going to save the market share they have in
Yes.
these critical markets, right? So if the to save the market share, if you're going to go increase and discount, then there is cash burn which is going to happen. And
Yes.
how Mahima is saying that she doesn't see in the next 1 to 2 years cash from operations coming in, which is right.
Yeah.
Simple as that. So,
This conversation was highly opinionated, people. So please
No, it's our
do your own
opinion.
research.
yeah, it's our
I don't know
way of looking at it.
Yeah. It's not right if you all.
We are not giving buy sell recommendations.
Yes, please. Okay. Thank you,
Thank
guys.
you.